They're not your food, buddy. All right, so these chickens have definitely outgrown this thing here. It's time to get them in their forever home here, which I got set up yesterday, which is down there in our pasture. I went ahead and got an area squared away for them, put up some T-posts and some fencing to get them some free range room outside till they get a little bit bigger, and then they can have, you know, free range of the whole pasture. I just get nervous at this stage of predators, so I wanted to keep them confined to a little bit smaller of an area, but got that set up temporarily yesterday. Got the shed, the coop ready for them, and we're gonna go ahead and start moving them down into that area and get them out on some grass here. So yeah, my thought is, instead of dragging this whole thing down there, I'm gonna go ahead and just put them in a box, a couple at a time, take them down, get them familiar with their new home. So here we go. All right, let's see how this is gonna go. So these are Rudd Rangers. They're a dual purpose bird. They're a great forager, so good free ranger. And unlike the broilers, you know, the Cornish cross that typically people buy for meat birds, which we have as well in the past, they're just they're a delicate breed. I feel like if you are raising them in the summer and they get into the heat of the summer, they start dropping over. So these are a hardier bird, and like I said, I got them for $1 at Tractor Supply on clearance, so I grabbed all 16 of them. But yeah, we're gonna get them on some grass here. Four it is. All right, so we got the coop ready. This is a pretty nice coop. It's, I think, a 12 by 10, I think. Something like that. Big enough for these guys. Anyway, I'm gonna start releasing them into their new home. Then check it out, new home. Got more in that one. All out. Nick one, your buddies are out there. There you go. Good. Come on. You want to go out there? Take one. Thank you. Be right back. The last bunch. Good. You see your buddies out there? Yeah. Come on. Don't be scared. Go out and get some grass. We'll beat some bugs. Well, I think eventually someone will grow a set and go outside, and once they do, the rest should follow. Looks like they're learning to forage. That's what we want. I feel like that one bird might be a different variety that got mixed in with these. Really stands out in the video. If it becomes obvious that it is, we'll just integrate her, hopefully a her, into the laying hens. But yeah, it's good. They're starting to come out and forage. I think they're about, I would say between 7 and 8 weeks, somewhere around 7, 8 weeks. So we got about 6 to 8 weeks to go, I would say. So I am shocked right now. We had an incident the other night with these birds, and something, I didn't put them in before we left, and I didn't get home till it was literally like 45 minutes after dark, and something had got in and killed what I thought were 3 of our chicks. There was one though, that was the only one I found dead outside. The other 2, there was no sign of them. I looked all over that night with a flashlight all around our field trying to find them. I just thought whatever the predator was that got the other bird, it got these 2 as well. It's been 2 days. I'm not sure how they survived or where they were at, but they just popped up in my yard here. So we didn't lose these guys. It's a miracle. Back with the family. So we're down to 15. Something did get one. So I'm keeping them in the coop until they get a little bigger. I do have the chicken tractor sitting right outside that door. When I am able to be outside, you know, for the day, I'm gonna let them out into that chicken tractor so I can keep an eye on them, but then I'm just gonna keep it right there butted up next to the door so I can get them back in the evening. Just don't want to take any more chances. But for a little bit longer here, I'm just gonna keep them inside the coop. And I think they're still, I opened the door to try and let them out yesterday, and I think they were so scared from the night before that, you know, they didn't want no part of going outside. So I ended up just shutting it. And this is a big coop. It's a 12 by 10, I think. So they're good in here for a little while till they get a little bit bigger. And then I am considering, we have 3 roosters because we hatched some eggs ourselves, and 2 of them of course were roosters. So we have 3 up there amongst our 8 hens, which is too much. So I'm thinking about bringing 1 or maybe even 2 of them down here to be with these guys to look out for them and protect them, you know, to provide security. But I want to make sure they're a little bit bigger so they're not getting beat up by the rooster either. So, but anyway, that's my thought. Bring a rooster or 2 down here to throw in the coop with them, and hopefully they can kind of keep a watch out, help protect them. So yeah, got 2 back. I'm thrilled. Just a little update on the chickens here. They are probably about a month out from 14 weeks, which will be the time we take them to the butcher. So they're doing well. Only lost 1. Of course, it's going to start to rain, but thought is there's more roosters than hens here, as it would appear. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is keep maybe 2 of the hens and 1 rooster, and try to keep them for egg production. And then that way, I'm gonna get out of the rain here. All right, so anyway, like I was saying, yeah, we're gonna try and keep probably 2 hens and 1 of the roosters back from the butcher. That way we can keep those for egg production, and essentially we'll be in meat bird eggs, hopefully, you know, indefinitely moving forward. So I think it's worthwhile to keep a few of them back and not send them all to the butcher. That way we can stay in the Red Ranger eggs and hopefully, you know, keep raising our own birds and not have to worry about buying them again. Now, typically with chickens, they don't begin egg production till around the 20-week mark, depending on the breed. So we're a little ways out from that, but looking ahead, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and keep a few of them back. So that's the plan. These birds are a dual purpose bird, so this is something you're able to do with this particular bird. And I've had them in their own, you know, run down there in a separate pasture from where I have our laying hens. I have them in a run right next to the garden so that I can utilize, you know, their bedding and the compost and whatnot in the garden. So I'm thinking that eventually I'll integrate, you know, the two Red Ranger hens in with our laying hens. Now they'll have to reestablish a pecking order. Every time you do something like that, it throws the hierarchy out of whack, but they'll get it figured out and reestablish their pecking order. Really, I'm not too concerned with that. It's more of the roosters, because we incubated eggs this previous year, and we ended up with, out of that batch, I think two roosters. So we already have too many roosters, you know, for the amount of laying hens we have. So I'm thinking when we send these birds to the butcher, I'll also take a couple of those roosters down as well. And then that way, especially with keeping a Red Ranger rooster, because then that way we're back to the right ratio with roosters to hens. And yeah, so anyway, that's the plan. And that's, I think, a good deal, you know. You really shouldn't have to worry about buying meat birds again in the future if this plan works out and everything goes well. We should be able to, once they start laying, collect a certain amount of eggs, and then incubate them, and hopefully they'll hatch, you know, all around the same time, and then we'll do our next batch of meat birds. And this is the way that we need to be thinking these days, because I don't know. I mean, every little bit that we can do for ourselves is one step away from dependency on these systems, and you know, one step closer to your own independence, which, in my opinion, anything you can do like this for self-sustainability, self-reliability, you know, all of these things, they are one step closer towards your freedom. And so it's definitely, I think, in everybody's best interest, especially today. I mean, I'm not sure if you have ever looked into, you know, chicken farming and where your meat from the grocery store comes from. But when you do, I think that you'll be sickened by what you see. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting the way that these birds are raised. It's not natural. It's definitely not the way things were intended to be. Industrialized agriculture has wrecked everything, in my opinion. And I think we only need to look at the way things are today with all of it to see the errors in that. And so this is where, you know, getting back to localized small farming is absolutely crucial, and it's the only way. And again, every bit that we can do for ourselves is, you know, one less thing you're relying on these systems for. And you know, for me, that's what it's all about. Because we are actively, by not buying these birds at the store, we are actively taking cookies out of that Cookie Monster's mouth. And that's what I'm all about. So yeah, anyway, that's what's up. That's what we got going on here. And so
that will conclude the meat bird video here. Listen, it's very easy to do. It requires, little effort on your part to raise meat birds, especially if you have a space to set up to where they can free range. They'll take care of themselves for the most part. You just have to, make sure you keep them in water, and as long as it's good land, very little feed. They'll forage and take care of themselves. So I did, supplement, I think, a 22% protein bird feed in, daily, just to make sure they were getting all the nutrients that they needed, but it wasn't a whole lot, and they're out on grass the majority of the day. So, and luckily we only ended up losing one of the birds to a predator. So can't complain about that, especially around here. Coyotes are a big problem, and I'm on top of a mountain. There's predators in the evening. There's predators all over. So I think we're very fortunate with only losing one here. So if you can do it, I would highly recommend doing it. It's very little effort. And even if you are limited on space, as long as you have some space and the capability to have chickens on your property, you can make, chicken tractors pretty cheap. There's all kinds of different designs out there. You may have even noticed in the one clip down here in the run where these birds are, that I had built one out of PVC. I threw that together in a day. It was, I don't remember exactly what it cost, but it was fairly cheap. It's just PVC and some fencing that's required, and maybe some zip ties, and things like this. But, just a few basic tools and some time, and you can get it done. And there's many different chicken tractor layouts and design ideas online. So as long as you have the ability to keep them on, new grass frequently and move them around, that's another way, to go about doing it if you don't have the space. And before moving here, we didn't have a whole lot of space, and we still managed to do these things. So it is possible. And yeah, I mean, the way things are today in agriculture, it's wrong. It's wrong. I mean, small is definitely better when we're talking about farming. It's the way that it was intended to be. It's the way that operates best with nature. And I just think that we can look out into the systems that are in place and see the errors with it when you try to do this on a big, massive corporate scale. It just, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And it just tightens the noose on the consumer, and ultimately you become dependent on these things for your food, and it's unhealthy. I mean, these things are pumped full of antibiotics and steroids and all kinds of stuff that you're taking into your system when you eat, these type of things from the store. So it's in everybody's best interest to, if you cannot raise your own, at least, buy local from local farms. We really need to try and get back to that. It's absolutely essential to support your local farms and to buy local. And that's in terms of, your fruits and vegetables, as well as the meat. And I've said it in other videos, but a big part of this is getting back to eating seasonal. We're so used to being able to eat whatever we want, whenever we want, that in many ways we're sacrificing our health for it. And we need to stop sacrificing things for convenience. I mean, these things are just not in line with nature. These are just not the natural ways, right? I mean, it's not natural to be eating watermelons in December. at least here where I'm at. Okay, and so that's a big part of it. It's trying to get back to, you know, preserving what you can so that you have things throughout the winter months, but you know, enjoy those things while they're in season, and then put up what you can for preserves, and what you can't, you know, you just wait for the next year. And we need to get back to these realistic ways of living, because I'm not sure if you've noticed, but we are absolutely, completely out of balance here. And it all starts at the individual level with us, and each one of us plays a part. And that's the part that you can play, is by stop supporting these massive corporations, you know, by buying at the grocery stores, at these big box stores, and supporting local. And better yet, if you have the ability, just grow your own or raise your own. These are the ways it was intended to be. And we really need to do our best to try and get back to it, because we may end up hitting a point where the scales get tipped and we are beyond the point of return. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm all about. Hopefully you will join me, and I will do my best to provide you with whatever knowledge I have up here in regards to all of this. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So let me know, what are you doing in your areas? Are you, you know, raising your own food and growing your own food, or at least, you know, trying to shop local? Yeah, any support would be greatly appreciated. So please like the video, comment on it, and if you haven't yet, subscribe, and I'll do my best to bring you more knowledge and truth. Till the next one, Casper's out.